Greetings and salutations from the sun, sand, and surf of Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, and the sunny island of Nantucket. Great to be with you on this beautiful sunny day on the Cape as we brace for what will, by the end of the week, be quite a weather event of heavy rain and wind as the jet stream dips far to the south, bringing up all that Gulf moisture and dumping it all on the Atlantic seaboard. Taking a deep breath for this upcoming week ahead, we can be assured of one thing: the beat will go on. 82 countries participated in the growing civil unrest stemming from the great inequalities that globalization has wrought upon society after society, with some protests, such as in Rome, Italy, turning violent, bringing Occupy Wall Street to its next evolutionary stage: Occupy the Globe. For this civil disobedience will not just simply go away. It won't, because this inherent dishonesty and criminality by world banks, many of the world's leaders, and some corporate business entities that won't simply just go away. Many of these fine institutions are arrogant enough to simply dismiss them, expecting no backlash from the majority of the world's peoples. However, it affects too many of those peoples, people who are beginning to wake up to the facts of how this all happened in the first place. Take Wall Street as a barometer for a moment. The problem with this far too powerful institution, made up of several very large, too big to fail investment banks turned commercial insurance banks, thanks to the destruction of the Glass-Steagall Act of 1933 in 1999, allowing those banks to become too big to fail, creating the monopolies that defy the antitrust laws that keep banks honest. Yes, the problem with Wall Street in general is the fact that the investment banking system, is no longer interested in this country any longer, investing in American companies and, more importantly, the people who work for them. No, it is interested in the lightning-fast computer trading that makes money with no value to society at large, interested in cheap labor, hence manufacturing overseas, taking away jobs right here in the U.S., interested in deregulation, further deregulation, so that it may continue making huge chunks of money from the speculation game that Wall Street has largely become, falsely driving up oil prices and many other commodities, some by at least 40%, and finally interested in owning as many of the politicians, puppets really, in Washington, D.C., as they lobby harder and harder for fewer of those regulations of all kinds, pulling the teeth of other vital non-financial government agencies such as the Environmental Protection Agency, the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, and the National Weather Service, which is a smart move on behalf of these monstrous corporations, who are the problem, such as Koch Industries, Halliburton, ExxonMobil, the big polluters, who make bank on destroying our land, air, and water, for they know that if they waive that little statement, regulations on, say, 596 deadly chemicals being used by Koch Industries and Halliburton in the fracking process of attaining natural gas, destroying drinking water in 37 states now, soon to be New York's rich water supply. It will take away jobs from good, hard-working Americans. Jobs that are not worth destroying our environment over. They can get away with pretty much anything. The American public, at large, for the most part, is ignorant, via an ingenious social, economic, political design constructed by plutocratic interests. Ignorant of many of these simple facts, giving Republican strategists like Karl Rove and Frank Luntz plenty of room to manipulate their thinking process and hence slavery on the American psyche, and thus manipulating their voting preference. Occupy Wall Street will, God willing, change all of that, as more and more Americans wake up to real facts and begin to call out these hedge fund managers who make billions of dollars in a system that should not allow such atrocities. The political will to continue doing the same thing will eventually wane, ushering in more transparency in the overall political intention of its members, more fairness to the tax code, more deliverance by way of real financial reform from the Wall Street barons who have their greedy little hands on the puppet strings of their bought politicians on Capitol Hill, and an opening back up to common sense solutions. Solutions to our ever-increasing problem of climate change. Solutions that benefit everyone. You know, the 99 percenters as opposed to the 1 percenters the system currently favors. This is not a question of if this will happen. Rather, it is a question of when it will happen. For a society that now lives in a world of free-flowing information, traveling faster than the speed of light, for thought does indeed travel at those speeds. The free market or laissez-faire, irresponsible madness, capitalism gone quite mad, that has been going on for the past 30 years in this nation will grind to a halt as more and more American people go hungry. More importantly, their children go hungry. And the last time I checked, you don't want to piss off and anger a mama grizzly now, do ya? Have a wonderful week ahead, folks, and remember what we here at humble little old CCapeCod.net say. Don't take any wooden nickels, poisonous apples, from the likes of Fox News. Keeping in mind who owns that propaganda news organization. An old pirate from down under, Rupert Argamady Murdoch, the king of unadulterated horseshit. Preserve the wilderness. Peace.